Hello, welcome back to the Asticast. I'm your host, as always, writer, director, producer, filmmaker extraordinaire, Peter Alex Gale. Hit me up on every social. Links in the description below. And we are back with another episode. I forget what number this is, but I wanted to give y'all an update, a recap, what we've been up to. It's been a little minute, so we got to check in. So, NFMLA, amazing experience. We went in February, Black History Month in LA. Met a lot of great people, people in the industry, creatives. Check out our interviews. We posted some of the content to the channel. We're out there. We're talking to people. We saw some great movies. So if you don't know about the NFMLA Film Festival, it is a monthly film festival that the New Filmmakers LA organization does literally every month. And every month they have a theme. So for February is obviously Black History Month, but not just limited to Black movies, but boosting kind of more filmmakers and stories about or who are of color. So Black, but also I don't know if you saw my interview with Usman, but he's not Black, and he made a movie about an immigrant story. So things of that nature, but kind of all centered around topics of that nature. But it could be anything. It's a movie, so it could be about anything. But some of those movies, we're gonna see if we can get some more interviews with some of the other directors. I'm not going to spoil who just yet, but stay tuned to the channel for that because you might mess with it. One of the directors from the NFMLA Black History Film Festival. But looking forward. So NFMLA, like I said, they do monthly film festivals. So if you are a whatever director, actor, writer, producer, if you're working on a movie, definitely look them up. See if you want to submit. I'm not sure of their vetting process, but you know, they do a lot of shorts every month. They do it monthly, and it's the New Filmmakers LA. So the purpose of it is for emerging filmmakers, first timers even, to get their stuff seen, to get exposure. And it's in LA. It's a lot of people go there. They watch the shorts. You never know who's going to show up. So definitely worth your time if you are a filmmaker in any capacity or a creative in any capacity, honestly. Even if you don't have a movie, show up, watch the movies, talk to people. They got an open bar. So again, shout out NFMLA Film Festival. March is their next film festival. It's going to be March 14th. And that's going to be, of course, Women's Month. So a focus on women's cinema, films about women, made by women. And the next one after that, April, I believe it's Asian Heritage Month. So they're going to have, it's a few themes for April. It's going to be Puglia, Asian, and immigration. So those will be the themes for April. But like I said, check the schedule. They do it every month all year. So, and they're booked out pretty far in advance, meaning they already know their topics for this year. So I'm not sure off the top of my head all of them for the rest of the year, but definitely going to check them out. Amazing resource, amazing organization for emerging filmmakers, fans, people who just like the vibes. Check them out and attend if you can. If you're in LA or if you are going to be in LA, go out there and you'll have a good time. I did. Housekeeping news on the channel. I do want to tell you guys our next move here at Aussie Productions. South by Southwest in beautiful, hot Austin, Texas is upon us. And Austin Productions will have a presence. That's right. We will be on the ground. We will be talking to people. We will be interviewing people, drunk people, film fans, moviegoers. I might pull up on Larry David, listen, I'm going to do whatever I can, whatever they let me, okay, until they don't let me anymore. But we'll be there. We'll be doing coverage. If you've never been to Austin, it's a great way to kind of see what the city is like. If you like travel vlogs, if you want to see kind of what the energy is like here, what people are doing, what people are up to, what do they come for. There are a few sections of South by. So you have the film and TV section, which is where we'll primarily be. There's also the music section. So they have artist performances at every level. I believe Don Tolliver is going to be there, and they also have innovative, I believe, the innovation section. So that's like tech stuff, which is, listen, I mess with it, but we're going to be in the film and TV area. So, like I said, if you are at all curious about South by Southwest, if you ever wanted to go or see what it's about first, Austin Productions will be your eyes and ears with me, of course, your host that you never get tired of seeing. So we'll be there all week, 6-7 days, interviews, just content, more content before you head top. So definitely subscribe if you're interested at all in that. And, if you see me there, listen, I mean, you can talk to me, but like just you know what I'm saying, I'm a little jumpy, so just let's let's just make sure we're all respectful, but say what's up if you see me. Peter Alex Gale, you know, Asti Productions. So just give me some dab. Maybe we'll do an interview if you're a filmmaker. I love talking to creatives, directors, actors, writers, producers at any level, whatever you do, composers. But yeah, it's like love this community. Want to grow this community. We'll be at South by doing our thing. So pull up on us. If not, watch the content, all the stuff, and I think you're gonna love it. It's gonna be a move. And I told y'all, Asti Productions is out here. We go to festivals, we go to events, we go to red carpets, we go to award shows, we talk to people. We are outside. You are not getting this type of stuff. I don't know where else. Only on Asti Productions. So if you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Subscribe right now. Leave a comment. Tell me what you want to see. Because I got ideas. You know, I got ideas for days, but you know, you're the audience. So listen, maybe I'm off. Tell me what y'all want to see from IC Productions. Where you want me to go? You want me to go to Antarctica? You want me to shoot a documentary on penguins? Listen, I'm open to suggestions, but like just comment. We need comments. We need likes. We need subscriptions. Everything. Do everything. And also, look in the description below. Look at our link tree. Follow us on other social media. We post everywhere. So whatever you're on, whatever you like to watch, hit us up, follow us, and we'll keep bringing you content. Let's interact. Let's get the community going. And a little bit more about South by. So they do have sessions. So, but you do have to buy a badge. So it's crazy. But if you are able to get a badge and actually come, they do have mentor sessions. So these are things like distribution for your film, production, working with producers, connecting with studios, using social media, um, topics like that run the gamut of filmmaking. So on every level, there's something useful. Now you do have to kind of reserve your session, but they do also have like open panels that you can go to. But if you're interested in it, hit me up, leave a comment, a question. We'll be talking about it all week. I'll be talking about my experiences because I've entered into a few of those sessions, panels, events, talking to industry professionals. There's indie studios, there's big studios. NBC is going to be there, Universal, everybody from your local film studio to all the big wigs. So you're gonna want to, if not go for yourself, definitely watch the content because it's gonna give you a lot of insight. Also, they have live podcasts, live talk shows. Like I said, Larry David's gonna be there. I think he's doing a live talk, so Austin Productions will be in attendance for that. I'm gonna try to record him, but they're probably gonna throw me out, so I won't be able to. But listen, we'll do it all. And other celebrities and things. Our schedule is crazy, Aussie production schedule. So every day we'll be out the whole day, mostly doing something, interviewing, talking to people, going to panels. There's a bunch of premieres as well. So people submit their films to South by. That is a difficult process, and they're pretty selective from what I hear. So that's for kind of more advanced filmmakers. But you know, listen, you never know. You never know. I see my pop up there with our movie next year. You know, listen, inshallah. But for now, we will be watching some premieres, see if we can get some interviews with the directors, the creative teams behind everything. And yeah, a lot of people, like big celebrities, are they come to South by. They show up for the premieres. So we'll see who we can talk to. We're press, but we're also social media, but we're also creative. So we wear all hats here at Odyssey Productions, and we'll be talking to the gamut of people. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Odyssey Productions at South by Southwest this week, March 12th through 18th. We're going to be putting up clips, videos, podcasts, recaps, interviews on this YouTube channel and on our other social media. So stay tuned for all of that. Just pay attention to the channel. It's all going up this week. And then after South by, we'll be doing additional content of things that we didn't get to post during the trip because we are going to be like walking around and busy, and you know how it is. So we won't be able to get everything during the week, but we are going to try our best to be timely with it. And also after the event is over, do a recap and what we learned and what it could do for you, because you may be wanting to come next year and submit your movie or do what I'm doing. And I'd love to give you some context of our experience and see if it can be beneficial to you in any way. So listen, man, you ain't getting this nowhere else. Aussie Productions. And hit me up if you see me for real. Peter Alex Gale. You can just call me Peter though. Let me know if you see the channel. Where'd you see us on? YouTube, whatever, all the social medias. Let's keep it respectful, keep it light. But listen, I always love meeting people. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a pretty interesting experience, I think. So all right. So now that all that stuff's out the way, that housekeeping, we're gonna get into the main topic of this episode of the Asticast, and that is woke movies. Listen, woke movies. I know everybody got an opinion about this topic. It's a very sensitive subject. And I wanted to put my 2 cents because listen, this is my channel. So I can talk about whatever I want. So woke movies are, it depends who you ask, honestly. I've asked this question to a lot of people, and a lot of people give me a lot of answers, and some people give me no answers. But what is woke? I want to go back to the classic example. Listen, X-Men, OG X-Men, 1960 something, Stan Lee, X-Men, y'all know. Some people say it's an allegory for the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King is Professor X, Malcolm X is Magneto. Nonviolence versus violence, right? And listen, opinions may vary on that. I think Stan Lee himself said those comparisons came after the X-Men was already up and running, so they didn't go into it with that intention of mirroring those characters on those two real life people. But even if that is the case, I think we can all agree that the parallels are there, and X-Men mutants are very comparable to people of color in this country during the civil rights movement who had to fight for rights, who were discriminated against. And for some reason, saying that uh, drives people into a fit of rage. Now, listen, I think we need to talk about this like normally, respectfully, calmly, right? What happened to discourse, right? Everybody's so mad these days. On Aussie Productions, you ain't gonna get me yelling at the camera. I don't know how people do that. People just sit in their house and yell at their phone all day. Nah, what I'm doing is talking to my phone in a calm, respectful manner because phones deserve respect too. But listen, is X-Men woke? Are Star Wars movies woke? Are other movies woke that put in people of color in the cast, right? Like I said, depends who you ask. Now, I think there's room for everything. So listen, would I have liked to see Idris Elba as James Bond? Yeah, but I'm biased. I like Idris Elba, right? And he's British. But other people be like, look, James Bond got to be white because he's always been white, but he's always been British. But has he? Because there was an Australian James Bond. So, but he was white. So, what's more British, a black British person or a white Australian person? Differing minds may vary. I'm fine with either. I think, look, it would have been a moment. It would have been an experience. They say maybe he was too old to be Bond at the time. Maybe that's why they didn't cast him. They say, he's maybe known for more American roles. I don't know. Listen, and he said maybe he didn't want to do it at the time, or I think he probably would have done it. I don't know him yet, but he probably would have done it. I feel like. But a lot of people are mad. Oh, James Bond should be this, James Bond should be that. And I've heard this comparison a lot. Well, what if they made T'Challa from Black Panther, a German guy or a Polish guy? It's like, look, Black Panther is the king of an African nation, okay? A fictional one. Wakanda forever, okay? So, like, look, that don't make no sense. Obviously don't make no sense. British people have been uh, many races for several centuries now because of colonization. So, like, British does not only mean one thing. Maybe to some of you it does, but if you go to Britain, if you go to England, if you go to Wales and Scotland and the UK as a whole, you'll see a lot more than just white British people. So maybe you can say James Bond is specifically English, but again, there are many races of English people. So look, I'm gonna come down on the side of like, if the movie is good, right? If the story is giving, that's what matters the most. You might be a hater. You might be a Idris Elba, James Bond, non-enjoyer, non-supporter. But then you mess around, you get in the movie, and it slaps and it's gas, and you're like, man, I was wrong. Listen, I've been like that. I've been a hater of movies, and then you see the movie and like, you know what? Maybe I didn't agree with the premise, but she was gas. Superman. Listen, I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but James Gunn knows how to make a superhero movie. And like, I don't usually like the Boy Scout types. I like the dark and gritty, the Batman, what I'm saying, the Punishers, the Edward Cullens, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't lie. Superman was a great movie. James Gunn is a great filmmaker, and he made me actually care about that character, even though if I wasn't originally into that concept of the Boy Scout at the time. So all I'm saying is, if you're a true fan of film and IP, and some people call it uh, modern mythology, right? Like the Greeks had their gods, the Romans had their gods. We have Star Wars and James Bond. That's like, what a downgrade. But listen, if you're a fan of that stuff, and you probably are if you're watching this video, I like to just say, look, give it a chance, especially if it's a good filmmaker, a good team behind it, a good actor. Obviously, the actor is critical, okay? But is anybody like thinking Idris Elba wouldn't be a good actor? I don't know, not many, right? So, I like to give stuff a chance. Now, some stuff ain't gonna fly. But I think companies and studios are kind of threading that line now because I don't know if they pay attention to the internet, but they should if they're not, because the internet is very influential these days. So, which is why I'm doing this podcast. So, but you know, give it a chance. Give the movies a chance. Go out, watch stuff, enjoy film. Life's too short. You're gonna be dead. We all might be dead, in not too long. So I like to just go out and give stuff a chance. Now, as for X-Men, we'll see what they do. They're bringing the old guys back for Avengers, I know, but I think that X-Men 97, that was a moment, a moment and a movement. And the debate continues, is it an allegory for this? Is it an allegory for that? But I think we can debate respectfully, quibble respectfully, and still enjoy the content. No matter what it was intended as, it exists now, and it has its own self-contained story. So it will always be that, and we'll always have the 60s X-Men. We'll always have new iterations. So I just think that sometimes people get so caught up in the argument that they don't realize that the value of cinema, film, TV, whatever media is the media in and of itself, and not maybe the message or the purpose behind it. Now, that's all important too, but the thing existing on its own is also like valuable, and that's why a lot of people do it. And the creativity aspect of it, the entertainment aspect, they shouldn't be discounted. Now, representation is important as well, and to me, Woke has been through the ringer, in recent years. Has been dragged through the mud and it had his name slandered. And the original meaning of it was just awareness to social injustice, and people have taken it and ran with it and twisted it and contorted it and flipped it, flop it, rip it, reverse it, put that thing down, flip it, break it. Okay, but like you know, I don't know if that's what it's supposed to mean anymore. I think it's choose your own adventure at this point. So whatever you think it means is what it means. But as it relates to cinema, you know, movies are movies, and movies are going to be influential no matter what people label them as, because they just are. They're a cultural touchstone. It used to be, gladiator fights in Roman times, and then it was plays and Shakespeare in the Middle Ages, and now it's movies. Movies are our modern version of that. So no matter what you think of it, they will be influential, and especially if you are a filmmaker or a creative in some way and you're watching this, I wanna talk to you directly. Okay, my fellow creatives, listen, we do have a responsibility to the audience, to society. Now, I'm not saying your movie has to be message heavy or political, but I not to say I don't think there's a place for those movies, because there is and there always will be. And movies move people. Movies are movements. Get it? Okay. But if your movie is entertaining, if your movie is a comedy, those also have value. Like comedy, laughter is the best medicine. So like everything has a purpose beyond the movie itself, or it could just be for entertainment. It could be for wherever you want to be. But I like to think of it as, a movie it's a cultural touchstone. It can be whatever you want to be. It could be for entertainment, it could be for comedy, it could be for making you think, it could be for you just put on something to distract the kids. But it all has purpose, it all has meaning. And I think maybe woke is the friends that we made along the way. Okay. But I have nothing against movies with a message, movies with representation. I think those are very important things. If you couldn't tell, you're probably not too surprised by that opinion of mine. But that is just a fact. I think Hollywood and the filmmaking industry has been not a place of, a super representative place in its history, and only in recent times, but it's getting better every day. And I meet all kinds of people all the time. I get messages, I meet people in person, I go to things, I see people, I meet people, I talk to people, and there's all kinds of people from all walks of life involved in this industry. It's beautiful. It really is. Like, no matter where you are, where you're from, everybody's got a story to tell, and everybody has a talent or a contribution to make this beautiful thing that we have called the filmmaking industry. So um, I love woke. I love woke. Many people are saying no. I can do a better one, but I won't. But so let woke be woke. Let not woke be woke. And you know what? Listen, woke goes both ways. Y'all see Horizon? That man, homie, what's his name? That's like a woke movie. If you're like, living in Montana, and you with the cows and the horses, like, yo, that's woke. That's too representation. It's not just one way. It's every way. Maybe people are mad because it's only been one way lately a lot, but it goes all types of representations. Like a lot of people are represented in many different ways. So, that's also beautiful. Like, listen, am I the biggest Western fan? Lone Ranger, but that was Johnny Depp. It's also where I want to say, you always hear like, oh, what if they made Black Panther a white man? It's like, listen, they made the ancient one in the MCU movies a white woman, a white Celtic woman, and he's originally a Tibetan man. So like, I ain't hear nobody talking about some, race swapping or whatever. That's a race swap, but it's like, from Asian to white, or like, back in the day, they used to only, y'all know about blackface and such, but you used to only have white actors playing roles from people of color. So whatever now new representations introduced into filmmaking, if they are race swapping or whatever, there's a lot of history of the other way around. So like we can keep that in mind as well. But like that was the time, and it was wrong, but now we're maybe a correction is due for some. Maybe some disagree. I think, like I said, the movie has to be good, the movie has to be entertaining, and accomplish whatever it's trying to accomplish. But there's nothing wrong with making your movie whatever you want it to be, highlighting or elevating whatever group, whatever message. If you want your movie to be political, if you want it to be an activist movie, man, go on, shine. There's room for that. And there's room for also turn your brain off movies. Now, me personally, my movies, listen, you got to stay tuned for that. You could probably get a little inkling of what it's about just from this rant that I've been on. But it's always going to be good. My movie's always going to entertain you. Asti Productions is always going to give it to you. Like DMX, RIP. So, yeah, woke movies, the debate continues, but there's room for woke, there's room for non-woke, there's room for reverse woke. That's right, I just made that up. Reverse woke. That's that Horizon movie, reverse woke. Just enjoy movies, y'all. Just watch it. Stop overthinking it. It's supposed to be fun, right? And if you're a filmmaker, it's not so fun for us because we have to slave and write the thing and fund it and film it and do all the work that nobody else sees. But it's fun. It's a fun job. It should be. And it's a creative job. And every creative out there knows how fulfilling it is when you finish that script or get that camera or edit that footage or whatever you do. So that's my little 2 cents on it. What do you guys think? Comment. What do you guys think of woke movies? What is woke? What is a woke movie? What are some things you can't stand? Has anybody changed their opinion on something that they used to hate on that now it's like, you know what? I was tripping. And listen, we can all admit when we're wrong. But that's going to be the topic for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the link in the description below to our link tree. We got social media everywhere.